I'm Sabrina, and I'm on Star Talk with Jay Haleen.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Jay Halim, and we are back with another amazing episode of Starve Talk. I always say amazing because I handpick the individuals that come over here and talk to me, and they got to be amazing in order for me to talk to them. And so this young lady is no exception. I got to give her props and her flowers because she gave me an opportunity to have a discussion with her, all to find out that she's knocking it out the park her damn self. So I said, look, I gotta come on over here and get her over and have this conversation. But y'all know what we do with Starve Talk. Starve Talk is more than just a podcast. It's more than people just talking and running their mouth. The acronym for Starve is Stand Tall and Reclaim Victory Every Day. And so for people who don't know that, you have to have that type of story to be on this podcast. It's not about how much money you're making. It's not about, what you put on social media and how it looks. I need to have my people to meet individuals, to be introduced to individuals that understand what it means to stand tall and reclaim victory every day. What have you been through? Have you been through something? Are you willing to talk about what you've been through? Are you willing to uplift somebody? I believe this young lady is. So, without further ado, Sabrina, what's good with you?
Oh, what's up, Jay Haleen? How are you? Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course, of course. So I want you, because you can do it better than anybody else, to introduce yourself and tell people what you do. You run down your whole layout, before we get
Oh,
into this
wow.
amazing conversation.
Let me clear my throat a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the Ace
Okay,
Ventura, you
so
gotta take it all in.
well, since you asked, I'm Sabrina. I'm the founder of Women with Purpose Tour. It's an empowerment tour for women entrepreneurs. And we just recently established our brother company to that, the Men with Purpose Tour. Also am a photographer. That's kind of how everything started is under photography. So I'm a photographer and I specialize in boudoir photography and I'm a boudoir model as well. I do boudoir photography. I'm also a podcast host like you. Hidden Images podcast that airs on Next Level Internet Radio Station every Monday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. I'm about to actually kick off another segment, Hidden Images 2.0, where it's kind of just a little more personal, raunchy, maybe a little cussing here and there involved, just people just being more themselves versus my Monday podcast where we're just strictly talking about business. So with that, it's just so many things have just transpired since I've started my brand from the entrepreneurs that I've met, like yourself, being able to connect from Texas to Vegas, like that's something to me. So even now, like one of the entrepreneurs that I'm connected to is Tony Hills. He's one of the Super Bowl champions. And he's won a Super Bowl with I think was the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. But just being able to just be connected with big name people now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, watch out. And then she
Yeah,
says she in Texas, so she's a
yeah.
Dallas fan hanging with the Steelers people. So, put
And
that
I
out
love
there.
my Cowboys too. I
Uh-oh.
love my Cowboys. I love all things Texas.
I
Like when it comes
really
to
gotta be okay with what she's doing, y'all. If I let a Cowboy fan on here, I like
yes,
really gotta
go
be okay with
Cowboys.
that. So yeah, I think that you're doing some amazing work, and I just like the hustle. I like the grind. Where were you? When you made the decision to go ahead and start. What mindset was you in, and where was you at in life when you decided to start your own business?
Like a lot of us, like in the pandemic, like I literally started in the middle of the pandemic. I wasn't laid off at that time, but hours were reduced, money just wasn't coming in. And it just, when the world stopped and certain things kept going, you just look at the entrepreneurs. Most of the entrepreneurs were the ones who kept going, besides the truckers and things like that. But it really just opened my eyes to I could be laid off any day. Half of America got laid off,
Mhm.
literally. Everything shut down. I could be laid off anytime, and it's happened. So I just decided to start my own business. That's why I bought the camera. Started with just doing photography, of course, with friends and family. Then for there, it just became, okay, what if I can start helping brands promote their brands? What if I give them headshots, do product photography? Then I started like the magazine, because the magazine came before the podcast.
Mm.
I was doing interviews and then launching articles online and just, trying to help entrepreneurs get their brands out there. And then from there, just like, let me start a podcast. And so the podcast is kind of a spin-off to actually me just interviewing entrepreneurs and interviewing them and putting it online, like in article form. So yeah, it was just a pandemic, like just trying to create a lane for myself and just create revenue and just have it come in.
You know, it's funny because I shared with you before after we did the interview about me, my journey as a photographer. So you got a special place in your heart, in my
Yeah,
heart for you with that, because as Black people, we don't respect the camera like we should. You
yeah.
know, I don't. I know I didn't even becoming a photographer, extremely successful photographer. I did
Mm-hmm.
not appreciate it. I actually sold my camera. um,
I
yeah,
need
when I
that.
no, I mean, no, I sold it. This was years ago. I mean, I'm not doing that now, but I sold it when I first got started more than 10 years ago. Because I needed the money. And I'm
Yeah.
like, $2,000 camera. I'm like, look, I need that. I wish I might be sitting here with a camera and I need this money to pay bills. But my minister, the minister that I was under at the time, he gave it back to me. And so
Mm.
that was for me to take it serious, because I sold it to him and he gave it back to me, told me he didn't need the money. He just wanted me, God, he said, his words was, God said for you to use it.
Wow.
And, I never wanted to take no photos of nobody ever, like besides my daughter. That's the reason why I got into it. But,
Mm-hmm.
um, it changed my life and it opened doors for me that I thought that I was cool enough to walk in myself. But, it was really the camera. And so what was your journey like when you first stepped out there? Because for me, it was always are you just a photographer, until I got to a certain level where you couldn't deny me.
Ooh, honestly, like it's for me, like I'm just so confident. I'm just so easy to talk to. People for me, it's just easy for me to break the ice. So, I just stepped out there with confidence. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I am a boudoir photographer. Like that's how I introduce myself to people now. I
That's
am a
crazy.
podcast host. Like this is me. So I just kind of like make it a part of my lingo, my lifestyle, my everything. Like this is who I am. So you just have to respect me for it, because that's the woman and that's the brand owner I'm building myself up to be.
You started out with boudoir, or you just was shooting whoever's gonna stand still long enough to pay you?
I started out kind of like both. Like in the
Okay.
beginning, it was both, because I wanted to find a different niche.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure I
I
found
like
my
that.
niche early.
I
Yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah,
because it took me a couple years to find my niche. It took me until about 2 years in, and I shot
yeah.
a law firm, and I was like, "Oh, this is wild easy." I said, I'm doing this now," because I was rolling over in the dirt, at the park, at the baby parties, and everything else. I like, this is old. I can't do this.
But I like photographing events because you really don't have to edit them. It's just
Yeah,
get
it's just the ones you do though. You know what I'm saying? Like the last
right.
photo shoot, last event I did was a $6,000 event. 2-3 days, well, like 4 hours a day. Like, yeah, that was cool. But these birthday parties and and all that stuff. I mean, I've done funerals, like
Ooh,
literally.
ooh,
So
ooh,
it ain't too much that I haven't done. So I love the events. I love events. I love corporate, all that stuff. I've
yeah,
done forensic. I've done everything. So, but I stopped at commercial and work with the big brands. But I love the story, especially the part about the boudoir, knowing going in, because one thing I'll tell you, and this is no shade, but women do have a better route with photography than men do. And I'll
mm,
tell you why. Because most women spend money on photography, not dudes.
right,
And
yeah,
so when you talk about women taking their clothes off or getting a little racy, it's a whole lot easier for them to do it with a
yeah,
female than it is
yeah,
for to do it with a male. Do you agree with that?
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I get that all the time from women that have reached out just to ask questions, from clients, friends, like they would rather have a woman shoot them than a man.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a little bit of a thing that Because I was interested in that way, but it just was like, it wasn't
Yeah,
turning over at all. And I know another young lady that's literally doing $200,000-300,000 a year, doing your niche,
exactly.
in the
The
Carolinas.
average woman who understands, like there's a difference. The woman who understands what a boudoir session is and what it all entails, the average woman will come out spending around 4 grand
Yeah.
after she's finished, after the whole setup, the makeup, the hair, the attire, the pictures, maybe the added on accessories, because she's probably going to get some prints, not just the digitals, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of boudoir photographers, to the way to capitalize is to sell prints only. Don't sell them the digitals.
Yeah.
Sell them prints only, and it just forces them to buy those prints. But
Yeah. The
yeah,
actual the
they
actual
spend
product.
money.
The actual
Mm-hmm.
product.
Right,
So, we talked a little bit off camera before, and we was talking about, you was in your process, you going through your process, building your business,
yeah,
building your brand. But it's not easy. You're in it now. It wasn't easy in the beginning, it's not easy now. So let's talk
right,
about that process because people need to know. Because all you
right,
see, I engaged a guy on Instagram this morning, literally, because he put up something about how to be a sports agent, and he started talking about how much the top 10 agents make. And I said, look, dude, that's like the lottery ticket. I said, are you going
right,
to talk about the majority of how much agents
right,
make, and the process to become a successful agent? Because to me,
right.
of course, it's success if you're in the top 10, but that's a lottery. Like, what's success? Like making six figures, doing it, paying your bills. How can you get it to a person who can pay their bills being an agent? You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that
Right.
part. So a lot of people just give you that home run. What is, I want people to know, like, what has been the struggle, what has been the challenge, what is the challenge, with you being an entrepreneur, being a woman, doing something that other people are not doing, all that stuff.
Oh, well, one of the biggest challenges is like, a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, a lot of them fail, um, to me, in my opinion, because they just don't have things aligned up. And so for me, there was a point in time, and there's still a point, not that I'm failing, but my personal life is not aligning with my business life. So right now, I'm like going through this nasty divorce with my husband. And it's just really been really hard.
I'm
Like
sure.
the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in life, on top of trying to build a brand, stay positive, stay motivated, be this inspiration to women. And I'm just at home, just like screaming, crying, kicking myself, like literally going through it for this last year, because we've been separated now for about a year.
Okay.
And even before that, it was tough because, before you separate, things are rocky then. So there are times like, even like with our Dallas event that we had last year, February the 12th, you know, just threatening me like, if you don't shut up, or if you don't do this, if you don't do that, I'm not going to take you to your event. We lived an hour away from Dallas. That's why it's hard to be a woman sometimes, to be a wife, because I followed him. I allowed him to lead me as my husband. And honestly, like he led us like into disaster. And as a woman, and my message to women out there and moving forward, my message will be, we as women, we got to have our ish together too. We can't just come into relationships and start dating men, and come into marriages and come into any type of unionship with anybody expecting that other person to have it all. So I take accountability too, and that's a process that I'm learning on my personal journey, as I take accountability and I say to myself now, like, okay, well, what if I had to come to the table with a bag, in my account? What if I had to come to the table with investments already? What if I had already, as a woman, as a person, as we all should, you know? But
I love that
so,
part that you said, as a person,
yeah. Oh,
because I
yeah.
literally just did a video about that. I just hate the war between men and women that's going on right
Oh,
now,
me too.
especially
I
black
would love
men
to
and
talk
women.
about that.
I
Like,
I really hate it
yeah,
because we all do our shit, like all of us.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like as much like it's nobody's better than the other.
Yeah,
Now
I totally
now
agree.
as men and as a man, I will say, it is a we all have our stigmas. Women have stigmas, we have our stigmas. So like, when we talk about we supposed to come with the bag. Now that's not true.
Yeah,
Everybody don't show up with the bag. But
right,
it's to the majority, it's expected you have to show up with the bag. You have young
right.
sisters talking about all I want is a man with 6 figures. I'm sorry, sister. If you do the
Mm-hmm.
math, a lot of people not making 6 figures. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? That's just not what it is. That's not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And so if everybody going after him, you know what I mean, then y'all gonna have somebody gonna be sharing something because it ain't a lot. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's already 3 to 4 to 1. And then when you start thinking about the LGBTQ community, then now you like that number kind of gets a little, stretched out a little bit more. So who you want, that's not realistic. And then the expectations that come with that, like even if y'all aren't coming with the
Mm.
bag, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you messing up the bag, you can't talk about that because as a man, it's like it don't matter what she doing, you still supposed to perform, you still supposed to produce.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's an issue. And yes, I always say we messed up with, protecting women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially our sisters. Like we don't protect y'all. We haven't done it for years. And we've dropped the ball on that.
Yeah.
Um, I believe that it needs to be some conversation happen as far as like together, not just in silos, the female silos, the male silos, talking about
Yep.
who's doing wrong to who. Because today's world,
Yep.
I don't know how old you are, but I know.
36.
Okay, so you're old enough to know, like, it was a time where it wasn't as bad as it is now. Like the females are just as out there as we were back in the day. Like
Mm-hmm.
it blows my mind. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
are you serious? And it's like delusional. Everybody looking like the evidence is right there, but nobody want to talk about that. So I love what you said because I say it's human. It's
Right.
y'all doing something, we doing something. So people need to do, and like you said,
Right.
people need to come to a relationship 100. Know what I'm saying? Not
Mm-hmm.
men or women, both need to come 100 because this is what I'm saying. When
Right.
you meet a grown man and you meet a grown woman, both of y'all should be in a position to take care of yourselves.
Exactly. I agree. And when
Like,
we met,
like
we both
forget
weren't.
taking care of me. I got a
Mm-hmm.
daughter, and that's what I'm telling her.
Yep.
Like, I'm not worried about what no little joker got for her because she's going to be able to take care of herself. His only criteria is that he should be able to take care of him.
Right.
And then he can treat you well, be a friend, be a companion to you, but he needs to be able to take care of himself. I'm not saying if you got a Mercedes, he has to have a Mercedes, but he needs to have a car
Right.
so that he can get
Exactly. Yep.
around. You know what I'm saying? He
Mm-hmm.
need to have his own place. You might have a house, he might have an apartment. That's fine, but he need to have something of his own for him. That's it,
Right.
not for you, for him. And same
Yep.
thing for the sister. Like you can't be 35 and like, yo, I ain't got a place. And then you saying what a man need to have. Like, no,
Right.
like,
That's
you
true.
gotta have it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like if you want your
Mm-hmm.
nails and toes done, you should have been getting your nails and toes done when that brother met you, because that's what
Right.
makes it special. It makes it special for him to keep up what you've already set. It's not
Mm-hmm.
special if he's upgrading you. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, all right, well, you never got your toes and nails done. After a while, like anything you're teaching somebody, class is supposed to end.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So like when you're teaching somebody something all the time, that portion supposed to end. So okay, I'm teaching you how to dress yourself. So either you gonna get tired of him with that, or he gonna get tired of you doing that. I need somebody. I don't have to keep teaching stuff. It's time when you're in a relationship. It's like now we got to learn some stuff together.
Whew,
So
man.
like I love
Mm.
what you were saying about that because you're being very diplomatic, and I appreciate that as a woman being able to be grown and diplomatic in that space because it causes so much negativity within us, and I believe we need each other in order for us to continue to go where we're trying to go in this
Yeah.
world. And the
Yeah.
more stuff negativity that's coming out, we just going further and further apart. So again, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a learning process. I learned a lot about myself, you know, during that marriage, during the marriage, because we're still legally married. You know, we're
Yeah.
still battling this stuff out now. So yeah, I learned a lot about myself. So that's one of the things I learned is now get out here and get financially stable, build a brand, build yourself up. And then when you get to a place to where you're living the lifestyle that you want to live, the man that you're seeking, or not necessarily seeking, but that man will gravitate to you because he's going to be in that same lifestyle and in that same realm. And y'all going to be probably in the same business meetings together. So it's just right now, it's just like focus on me.
Yeah, I mean, again, and I'm going to get to the business portion of it, but I want to be encouraging to you. Like, he don't have to be in the same realm as you. Like, he just got to treat you right, yo. He just got to be down for you. He got to look at you and see the future in your eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we got to stop thinking like, because think about it. I'm a brother. Brothers don't like, we're not saying we looking for the woman in the realm. She can just look good and be walking down the street, and we pick up and put it in the Mercedes, and and that's that. And we don't question that part. And I still wouldn't question it because I want to hit where your mind is at. Like,
Yeah.
where are you? Because we don't know what people's circumstances is. We don't know why this person is being held back. You can find out soon enough, but you don't know why they're. And then you also got to know what you need out of a person, not just a man, but out of a person. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
if
I guess what I mean, like, I mean, it just kind of goes deeper than that because, like, there's certain like activities, things I like to do, you know, like you have to be compatible and, in certain
that
things
doesn't
in
make
certain
somebody
areas.
incompatible, because again, that's why I want it to be even, because again, us brothers are got the bag right now. I'm a gentleman of means, right? So if I'm going out, I don't like. I mean, I still eat places, but a date to me is not Applebee's no more. Like back in the day, that was
Yeah.
Apple. But like, if that was what I was doing at this point, it wouldn't be that. It's a $300-400 meal. We going out, like, so. If you don't need nothing for me to do that, because that's what I do. It don't have nothing to do with you. It's who I choose to bring with me. You know what I'm saying? And it needs to be the same thing. Like, if you're doing that, that's what you're doing. Now you choosing him as company. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's not okay, he's eating off you, because men ain't sitting out here doing food scams. Women are. Like, I'm gonna find out who gonna take me out for the next 5 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real people out here doing the dine and dash situation. Chicks is like, yo, yeah, he like me. He been asking me to take him on a date, go get some food, and then bounce. You know what I'm saying? And then do that with 3 other dudes that week. Dudes ain't really doing that, and they are, man. They need their behind whip, like, for real. So at the end
I
of the
think
day,
they doing it on another level. They,
no,
they,
no, you got no, you got the cats that's screwing their heart out to get a place to live. Now I know that. You
that's
know
what I
what
was
I'm saying?
just
Yeah.
gonna say. They
No, I'm
stand with
with
them.
you.
That's
Keep it all the way. Well, yeah, keep it all the way. But keeping it all the way
exactly
serious.
what I was just gonna say.
Keep
Like,
it all
wait
the
a
way
minute.
serious. We playing with that situation because you get caught up that way. See,
Yeah,
you don't
because I
get caught
feel
up
like
with
this
no
man
dinner.
scammed me to get this house.
See, but look, it ain't really no scam because of your paperwork. You got paperwork involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So sometimes you sitting there thinking it was supposed to be just that, and then now you can't leave
yeah,
because it done
yeah.
got good to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot more on the line. And we stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? Because we put it all on the line from the door. Y'all just putting the dinner and a little conversation on the line. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, like, I want my sisters, I want people, don't set your standard on other people. If you like eating seafood and lobster and shrimp all the time, go eat lobster and shrimp. It don't
Right.
have nothing to do with that brother. If you choose to have that brother come in, and how you work that out is, if he come and he's offering to pay or he's offering to contribute, all right, then that's a good thing. That's a good
Is
sign.
he supposed to sit there and not eat then?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
I
saying
hope he don't
he
like seafood.
no. He should eat, like, and he should be
Mhm.
willing to pay for his food. Like, everybody supposed to come prepared for whatever, and then that's how you start to get the right
Yeah.
actions. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you come to the table and you say, look, you talk to the brother, because you got, trust me, I'm a brother. I'll tell you, I've seen dudes I know, they would decline going with you to Philippe Child if they can't afford Philippe Child. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So But you go and tell something about you if it ain't dependent upon him.
Yeah.
You saying I'm going to Philippe because I eat at Philippe. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking this trip to Vegas because I'm going to Vegas, not because you taking me to Vegas. Now, if either he gonna get right and gonna get on the plane with you, get a ticket, or he gonna be like, nah, I gotta pass on that one. And you probably won't hear from him, and that's okay. But don't be fronting. But just you doing what you do. Be you. A lot of women put themselves in that situation because they're in the space like, I'm gonna let him dictate my appetite. I'm gonna let him dictate all
Yeah.
how I travel. Now he ain't saying this is what you're gonna do. You're waiting on him to decide if that's what the type of stuff he likes to do. And then
Yeah.
what he likes to do is what you like to do. No, establish who you are for you. So you in that space right now, you go get massages every week, then it shouldn't change when the brother get there. And
Yeah.
neither way, up or down, you should get it every week. You shouldn't be trying to get it 3 times a week because you're trying to spend his money, and you shouldn't get it. You shouldn't stop getting it because he came. You should
Yeah.
still be you no matter who you encounter, because we all got to get entangled with each other. And if you're faking or you putting on, you can never meet the person. Then once everybody get comfortable and they get off their game, that's where it's like, oh, I don't really rock with her like that because you ain't getting your hair and nails done no more. I thought you was getting your hair. That was
Yeah.
what you had
Yeah.
to do. But when I got laid off the job, now you're not going to get your hair and nails done no more. You don't want to look good no more. Oh, because I had the 6-figure job. You wanted to look real good. But that's supposed to be me keeping you there. Because if I'm coming,
Yeah.
I ain't supposed to bring you down. I'm supposed to keep you at the same level and take you up. But it's like, oh, he's in place now. I don't gotta act no more. And then you got some brothers that's like that too. But they again, we put it all on the line though, like dummies. Like we are like going in now, we can't get out. So when she's saying, because you got some brothers that's in that now, she telling him how he gonna be. Nah, I'm taking my car. You got to stay in the house. Now he's sitting there with the video game. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He can't go get a job, but I've seen brothers want a job, can't go get a job unless it's the type of job she want him to have, because otherwise he with another chick or something like that, and that was the way how they controlled him. So it works both ways. It's just these standards there's crazy standards that we set for our community that we got to get out of. Grown people need to be able to take care of themselves. Now,
That's my message for
that's
2023.
it.
That
Grown people
and
should
you
be able
can
to take care of
create the
themselves.
life you want to live,
Now,
but
whatever your
definitely,
level
and
is your level. Nobody should judge you
right,
for your
exactly.
level. Your
That's
level
it.
is your level, man or woman. It
And
is.
I think that's the problem. Like people try to live up to the Joneses, and people do like judge people, based off of maybe what they're wearing or the clothes they have or the car they drive. So what if I'm driving a 92 Honda? It's paid for.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not. I'm not.
yours.
But I'm just saying,
No, but it's yours, and it's
right?
yours, and
Yeah,
that's okay. And again, that's what I'm doing now.
yeah,
You don't know what I'm working on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You don't know what I'm doing, and it's nobody's business. And you know what? More people or less people care than we believe to think. So we
yeah.
think that people care about what we doing, and we put ourselves in so much
That is
stress.
true.
But a lot of people, like, I know, and I had to learn.
That
So
is so true.
I've moved so many times in my life and my adult life, and I remember I realized this a lot. I moved from Atlanta to South Carolina, and dude was like that, I was cool with. He hit me like, "Yo, man, come out, let's go. We gonna go out." It was like 8 months later. I'm like, "Yo, bro, I don't live there no more." Like people not paying attention. I'm posting on social media and all that stuff. Like it's one of those things, man. So we got to focus on what we doing. Don't put ourselves in no crazy
Right.
situation. Part of my journey upward was me getting a house that was like super small. You know what I'm saying? I remember my daughter like, "Yo, daddy, why you ain't got a house like this?" But I got a 3,000 square foot building that I'm running this business out of, or these
Mm,
businesses out of. And yeah, she didn't understand it then, but now she
right.
do. When she can look at it now, like, oh, okay, cool. But I had to take that hit. I had to take being Jay Halim, being somebody who people know, and still be comfortable in my own skin, because I knew I never wanted to be in the position I was beforehand that I wrote
Yeah.
about. So I'm like, forget all of that. I only want what I know I can afford, no matter. And being a full-time entrepreneur, I got what I knew I can afford, no matter what my situation was. If I was going to be up, Or if I was gonna be down, I knew I'd be able to pay my mortgage. I knew I'd be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I, and took that on the chin. Now that's
Yeah.
a rental property. You know what I mean? Somebody else is in that now. So like at the end of the day, we have to think about ourselves. And then the people that's supposed to be around, like you said, I don't care if they're, rich, poor, it ain't none of that. If they make you feel good, not just physically with the extracurricular, but like you feel good around them, because people miss that friend. In our generation,
Yeah.
I would call you, in my generation, where that friend zone stuff started. Like that was a person who really, really would have shot somebody over you, but he or she didn't measure up like that, like what society said it was supposed to be for you, and you curved them, and you wonder why you're not happy in your situations.
Mm-hmm.
But like that person it was like they would have literally they would have took their first breath for you if
Yeah.
they had the chance to. And that wasn't because they didn't measure up to what society or the community said you should have. And that was that. So I want, like, whoever's giving you that type of love, you know what I mean? That's the person that need to be around you. The person who's making you feel good. Because
Me.
you can get the money together, man. Like the money is there, and two people can get more money than one person can. So, like, yo, let's get the love, yo. Get somebody around you who really give a damn about what you're doing, yo, and who's gonna be there when you're not looking so good. You know what I'm saying? And when you need somebody to wipe your behind. You know what I mean? Like, look at that situation. Because we all go in there. We go from babies and go back to babies. Like, it is what it is. We ain't had no teeth.
Yeah.
No, ain't gonna be like, who's gonna be around and not take off and haul ass then when that happened? Like, who is that? And then you'll start seeing your life change, man. It won't be about nothing else because they ain't going nowhere. You're not worried about all of that. And everybody can get their bread and do what they need to do. I'm done preaching.
No, you good. Hey, that's what I'm all about right now. Let's get this money together and the love will come later. Like we'll fall in love. We gotta get this money now. Like it's
I
serious.
dig it. I dig it. So I wanted to ask you about, you said, recently, how long you been going through your divorce? How long is
April 15th of last year is when we separated.
okay. So did the business contribute to that? That's what I wanted to ask.
No, no, not at all.
Okay.
Um, it was finances, like literally finances. Like we were just financial trouble.
As they say, that's one of the number one reasons why marriage is in
Oh yeah.
finances. And I asked about the business because a lot of times I literally wrote about it in my last book. People don't, spouses don't understand when another spouse become an entrepreneur. They're like, "What are you doing? Everything's all good." And I know you said that you saw that you left your job because you saw how things was going, and you went into full time entrepreneurship. Like, did that put you in a tight spot financially that made you feel a way towards the marriage, or did he start turning the corner at that point because you ain't have your bag intact at that time? You feel like something like that happened?
Well, he did. Like when I got laid off. There was a point in time where I got laid off right after we got the house. But he had just gotten fired. He
Okay.
had just gotten fired. He was making a good chunk amount of money, and just gotten fired for pretty much beating up one of his coworkers at work.
Mm.
And then that is what put us in a financial bind. And even to this day, it's like he doesn't even want to take accountability to that. And I couldn't help myself getting laid off. Who wants to go to work and then, hey, get on this meeting and then boom, you're laid off. We'll give you a severance pay. And then I'm out there in Maybank, Texas, where there's nothing,
Mm.
literally nothing out there but Trump supporters and a lake.
Wow.
No jobs. Like the highest paying job out there is just working at Walmart, pretty much making
Wow.
$15 an hour. I applied for a bank clerk position and I asked for $15 an hour. Turned down too much. You're asking for too much. $15 an hour for a bank clerk? That's reasonable. But
Wow.
in that town, Subway, store manager, $11 an hour. For the store manager,
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
want that type of woman. I gotta get out here and make money.
No,
So
I'm with you. I'm with you. I know again, and thank you for being so forthcoming because I
yeah.
know that that's kind of, it's personal. But I wanted
I
to talk
mean, that's
about the
part of my
business part.
testimony. That's part of the tour. Like, I'm going to be speaking about it on tour. I'll be speaking about it on my podcast. Actually, before we hopped on here, I was actually sitting over on my little couch over there. Actually, I wrote a title to a book. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start from beginning because I have a story to tell even from the beginning of my life up until whenever the book is finished. But yeah.
Yeah, I want you to and shameless plug, but my assistant Tamika, she has her own and I send it to you. She has she's a book writing coach. That's how I got her. She
Yeah.
helped me with my first
Yeah.
book. And I kidnapped her from that point on. So
Yeah.
but
That's
yeah, she
dope.
has a workshop coming up on the first. So if something,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's
Is it
it's
virtual as
yep,
well?
it's virtual. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get the information. But yeah, for me, that's one of the things we want to know about the testimony because
Right.
everybody think it's so easy.
Man.
Everybody thinks it's so easy. It's like entrepreneurship is like the coolest thing in the world right now. And I just remember a time when I was in college and I'm at a black college in South Carolina and I had a restaurant. I'm like 19, 20 years old. I got my own restaurant, me and my partner, me and my homeboy. And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, you crazy. What are you doing? You go get a job and you don't need this." And I'm like, why wasn't y'all saying, the same rhetoric now then and supporting me? Because they're like, you seen this young kid he got the glow right now. So we get behind him, he'd be a millionaire by now, right? But that was never the case. And there wasn't no social media when I was younger like that. It wasn't none of that. So now it's just like the coolest thing in the world. But people are saying, screw the job. And I
Yeah.
was always that person until I got knowledge. I was like, man, that job is the easiest thing in the world. Like, because doing what we do is not walk in the park. It's 18
Yeah.
hours a day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as opposed to 8 hours.
Fact.
And
It's
so
non-stop. Like, soon as I wake up, I gotta get my morning post out. I gotta get that. Okay, if it's not scheduled, I gotta get that out. Okay, now I've gone back to work, so I had to work my full-time job now. Get off work, gotta okay, check the email, do this. Okay, get this going, get this going. Now I'm on this podcast. I have a meeting even after this. It's like it's nonstop.
yes. So you went back to work. Talk about that decision. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
everybody's like, fire your boss, get rid of
yeah.
this and all that other stuff. What was the decision? How did that, where were you at when you made the decision to say, hey, I'm gonna go back to work but still run my company?
The main reason why I need to and have to go back to work, honestly, is just to push through this divorce. Once I get through this divorce, not in a like a financial position to just up and quit my job, but I'm in a mental position to up and quit to be able to drive my brand to get the funds and resources and money in that I really need to be making. But I do need the time. Like honestly, starting this position, like it's taken a lot of the hours that I used to spend working on my brand. And I'm like, dang, trying to crunch in a lot of stuff now. But yeah, I really need to just get past this divorce. And once I'm past that, because everything's at a standstill. My finances, I can't buy anything, I can't invest. Like that's why marriage is like you really have to marry the right person. And I know it's like the right person, like, is there such thing as that? But
No, it
no,
isn't.
you really there isn't,
It
but you
isn't.
really have to vet that person. You really have to like spend time, like learn their habits, figure out their finances, have that conversation. Like, what if this happened? Like, it really just a lot of work into marriage.
It definitely is, but at the same time, it's like I said, it's not no perfect person. We all just
No,
get
it's not a perfect
there.
person.
I'm just saying perfect person for you, period. Like if people
Mhm.
think like this find that perfect match. It's not such thing. It's if you're 100% and that
Right.
person's 100%, you guys are in a position to handle the BS that life is
Right.
going to give you. That's
Right.
all. That's all it is. Like,
Yeah.
you can train the greatest soldier and send them to war and they still lose. You know what I mean? Like, so you just got to be in tip top shape for this thing called marriage. Like you got to be
Mhm.
prepared for the fight. Saying like entrepreneurship, that's like a
Right.
marriage. It's more like having a child,
It
and
is.
you got to be in that position. So I wanted to, elaborate on the going back to work situation and also encourage you. I would, if I'm you, because I believe our people have to get past the point of we have enough and look for more than enough. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I created a partnership. Well, I forged a partnership with a young lady out in, she's way older than me, but I call her young lady, out in San Diego. And that's what got me to the West Coast. And her testimony is that she started and sold 6 businesses for millions of dollars. And the whole time she did that, she was working her job. She
Wow.
retired when she left, when she sold the last business, and she's still in business because that's how we got partnered up. I mean, she has
Yeah.
a firm where they, do funding for entrepreneurs. However, she has a nonprofit arm because she found out that it's hard to get these people funding. They're not prepared for the funding. So
Mhm.
this is where the education portion comes in that. And me being a full-time coach and trainer, things of that nature, was able to create a nice partnership. But I was intrigued by her because we get so caught up in that. I think the sister wanted a comfortable life. She didn't want the struggle. And in my
Right.
second book, I talk about that. I'm like, that's the first principle. It's called You Won't Starve, Key Principles of Entrepreneur Development. The first principle is hustle while you work.
Right.
Like I think your pivot, and it might be better, but I think your pivot right now and or the next 12 months is to a job that's doing what you want to do. Like what you're doing for yourself,
Mhm.
to a company that's paying you to do what you're doing for yourself, so that not only the money, because the money comes. And when I talk to people about career development now, I said, when you go in, we approach jobs the wrong way. We approach jobs about money. Don't worry about the money.
You're
Get the
right.
right job that's going to, if you know what the right job looks like, it's the job that you're going to learn something from. Then
Mhm.
secondarily, is room for growth. Now, when you got more knowledge, you got more growth, money follows that.
Right.
But once
That's
you
true.
time yourself out of that job, meaning you've grown as far as you can go in that place, you're ready to go off
Mhm.
into business, because not only do you have the knowledge, but you have connections. You
Mhm.
actually know how this works. So when you step out, it's so easy for you to do what you're doing. The people that you're trying to meet right now, it might be a major magazine because you kicking ass doing what you're doing by yourself in Texas. That's like, yo, come rock with us, and I got that bag for you. And you're doing it for them, but you got your own situation, your tour. You know what I mean? They're not doing the tour, you're doing the tour. So you
Yeah.
got your tour, and your tour is going smoothly. Even Tyler Perry worked until his plays popped off. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop telling our people to leave the comfort. Our passion is an uncontrollable emotion, just like love. And your passion is like your driver's license. You don't show it
Mhm.
all damn day. You keep it with you, but you pull it out when you need to. That's the thing that gets you over the crazy times. But you don't need passion to make, like, passion is what makes you leave the job. But you don't feel that same way 2 days later, or especially once you miss that damn check the first time. Like, all the passion went out the window at that point. So,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, the passion is what made you say, I'm getting a divorce, like, because it's a crazy decision. You know what I'm saying? You're like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
You got to be something greater than you to make these crazy decisions. But those have never been situations you're supposed to stay in. Those not permanent positions you're supposed to stay in. Love will make you kill somebody. You're not always supposed to be in that space. Sometimes the person you with, you're supposed to just be tolerating. Sometimes it's duty. Sometimes it's obligation. Sometimes it's your integrity. You said that you keeping your word. Then sometimes it's love. You know what I mean? Like, love is gonna make you wipe their behind. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get through that portion. You know what I mean? But all that stuff comes to an end, because once you get a cycle, maybe you can get somebody else to start doing it. But when they can't wipe their behind and you don't even understand why this is happening, that's like love going to get you through that.
Yeah.
Passion going to get you through that. But now you can get a cycle. So hopefully I'm able to pour into you and say, you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Now the pivot is not to go back to the struggle. Go to somebody who seeing what you're doing, seeing your work, somebody's in a way better space than you, and let them know how you can be of service to them and get that bag from them, learn from them, be
Right.
from them, and then step off and do your own thing 100%.
Yeah. I love it. I absolutely agree with that. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad I always find a reason to coach somebody.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah. Somebody need to hear that.
yeah. But I wanted to give it specifically to you because at the end of the day, people are following you and I'm paying attention, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People following you. And so when you go do your talks,
Yeah.
when you go do your speeches, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to be clear. I want you to be crystal clear. I don't want you to be like, I'm trying to figure it out. And it's cool and it's gangster to be able to say that comfortably because people don't, like, I don't know is like some of the three dopest words that you can say, but too many people got pride and don't know how to say, I don't know. But you don't have to stay in that space. You can know. You know what I mean? You can know what time it is. And somebody's about to make a decision to get divorced or lose their job, leave their job, or do something, go into entrepreneurship. And you can help them right where you are. You don't have to get 500,000 in the bank to help them. You can help them right where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You already seem to be doing that. So it's no better time than like the present to get that information so that you can be more clearer on your message.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Let's talk about the tour. Let's talk about the tour. So how did that come up?
Tour.
How did
So
that
the
come about?
tour, the Women with Purpose tour, actually it came about through the magazine. Like everything kind of spawned off of each other. And I was interviewing an entrepreneur, and she wanted to do more speaking engagements on financial literacy. And so that is what I do. I'm a pusher. Like I like to push people. You tell me you want to do something, I'll do some research and send it to you to help you find a way to get it done, or I'll push you to get it done. And so I didn't even tell her. She's in Texarkana. That's where I'm from too. So I didn't even tell her. I called the venue up in Texarkana and I booked it. I didn't even tell her I booked it. Um, After I had booked it, I gave her a call and I said, hey, we're going to set a date. You're going to speak. We're going to host an event. And from there, we're just going to see where this rolls on, if we can do it again and again. And so she was locked in, like, okay, cool, we're going to do it. So we set a date. We're like, what are we going to name it? What are we going to call it? What are we going to do? Like, what? Let's start now. We got the ideas to start rolling in. And so actually, she and I together, we came up with the Women with Purpose tour. And from there, we just hosted our first event. We got some other ladies involved. We hosted our second event. Some ladies left, some other ladies joined. We hosted our third event. Now, here in March 2023 at the International Bowling Museum, we're going to be hosting our fourth event. So I'm super excited. We've got a whole new lineup of guest speakers. I don't know if y'all can. Are we on like camera or is this the
Yeah.
radio?
What you trying? No, we on camera.
Oh, okay. I don't know if y'all can see the flyer, but that's the
I see
flyer
it
on the
behind.
TV
Yep,
back
we can see it.
there.
Yep, I can see it.
But yeah, so the Women with Purpose tour, again, it's an empowerment tour for women entrepreneurs. My goal and our goal is to motivate, inspire, and just help the next woman start, grow, and scale their brand. And so
Yeah,
that's what we do. So this coming up tour, we've got a grant writing presentation. We've got a sales masterclass presentation. I'm going to be talking about influencer marketing. I'm going to be giving out influencer marketing templates. We're kind of doing more of a conference theme. The first couple of tours we were doing more like vendor base, which will still have vendors, but it'll be more upscale, more conference, dinner, more raffles. We'll be giving back to a particular brand. This actually coming up event will be the first time we'll be doing like a $300 give back. And I call it an LLC funds
yeah,
because I want them to put it towards starting a brand.
yeah.
So that's something we're going to just start putting in play every event from here on out. And I'm looking forward to this one. Like, we went to see the venue yesterday, and oh my gosh, if you are ever in Texas soon, again, whatever, go to the International Bowling Museum.
As soon as I
It
get
is,
my invite, as I get my invite.
you can come out anytime.
Oh man, I need an invite. I don't just pop up at people's house.
Yeah, you can pop up. Come on to Texas.
Listen, what
I
is a
like
woman with
Vegas
purpose?
though. I need to get down there.
Are you coming? What's a woman with purpose to you? Give me the definition of a woman with purpose.
Oh, a woman with purpose is a woman with confidence, a woman who steps out and who starts and achieves anything she wants to, right? A woman with purpose is a woman who inspires the next woman. Like we inspire other women to go out and just to be who they want to be, wear what they want to wear. Even with me in the boudoir photography, that's a woman with purpose. Me stepping out and not being afraid to be who I am, to show who I am. Like that's a woman with purpose.
What made you decide to participate? I mean, because a lot of people that's behind the camera don't usually jump in front of it. So, what made
You
you?
want me to be honest? It
Yeah.
was like going through this divorce, like being in such a hurt place. I took those photos for my 36th birthday, and after that, I was like, yeah. I found when how Stella got her groove back.
So
I
who
kind of
did
was
your
like,
shots?
oh my God, I am beautiful. Look at me. Let me. Honestly, after that, like my confidence went through the roof.
Who
Like
did
just
your
seeing
shots?
myself in that intimate setting. And that's why I highly encourage every woman out there to have at least one boudoir session in her lifetime because that was my first one. And like I literally cried when I saw my photos. And my confidence is just like boom. And after that, just, hey, you want me to pose? Okay.
Who did your show? Who did your shoot?
Calvin Brown Photography in Fort Worth.
Okay, all right. And so you was comfortable with letting the gentleman do your photos.
Oh
So
yeah, I was, and I wanted to elaborate on that too, because you're right, like that. A lot of women would prefer a female to shoot them in that intimate setting, but what I highly encourage is just to find a photographer, period, that you trust if you're going to shoot in that intimate setting, because he's the only one I would probably book with to ever shoot me in that intimate setting. Unless he's like a Michael Sasser or something, like a well
or Jay
renowned
Halim, or Jay
photographer.
Halim,
Or Jay Haleen. But yeah, so I trust him.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
so that's why I stick with him. And so for any woman who ever wanted to shoot, there may not be any female photographers around. There might be just a male, but find someone that you trust and just stick with that person.
And I would also say bring, being a photographer, we never stop being, even though I haven't been shooting, bring somebody with you. That's all.
Yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
like
definitely.
it's when you start understanding it
Highly
becomes
encourage that.
work, like just bring somebody with you.
Yeah.
Because not only do they become a safety net, but also they're a cheerleading team. You got your cheerleading
Right.
squad. You're not
Yep.
doing that. I've done it a few times. It was just too hard for me to get people to do it on a consistent basis how I wanted to make the money where I
Hmm.
was. But I've done it, and I've always actually, if they didn't have somebody, I brought somebody. I've never done that
That's
type of
smart.
shit by my own on my own.
That's
So
smart.
yeah, I wouldn't tell nobody else to do it either. Like, and
Yeah.
it wasn't always like a setup as this is a boudoir shoot. I've had women get crazy on me, like, like, hold up. I was thinking about doing something with my clothes off. I'm like, hold on, wait. let, me, let me go ahead, because I never want no smoke like that. You know what I'm saying? From
Right.
that perspective. So it was always just bring somebody with you. If
That's
photographer
smart.
should bring somebody, or you bring somebody. Like I said, you get twice as fun. Like, long as they ain't gonna be no buzzkill, they can help you get dressed, change clothes. They can be your cheerleading squad. You know what I'm saying? Just don't bring your dude. You know what I mean? you know,
Definitely not.
yeah. Now I did
Definitely not.
one. I did one like that. My homegirl I went to college with, and I was in Atlanta, and her baby father was there, but he was cool. Like, he wasn't tripping. But at the end of the day, it was still awkward though, him being there. You know what I'm saying? And he was kind of looking, some type of way at first, because I'm like, hey, we in it. We ain't going to play around with it. But then later on, he was the one, he hit me before she did. Like, when I sent her images, he was like, I just gotta tell you, you did a great job, man. You real professional. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
you give me
But
my props.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But Yeah, it's an uncomfortable situation, but try not to bring your significant other. Bring your own girl or somebody else who can keep their composure and go from there. So yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So I told you in the beginning what my acronym stands for: Stand Tall and Reclaim Victory Every Day. So what does that mean to you when you hear that acronym? Stand tall and reclaim victory every day.
Oh man, I can definitely relate that to what I'm personally going through now. Like, just like no matter what you are going through, just push through it, stand tall. Just, you have to find that balance. Like for me, it's finding that balance. Once you find that balance between literally work, life, home, all that, like stand tall in it, like find it, hold it. Like that is also my message for 2023. It's like taking life by the neck and grabbing a hold of it. I'm in control, like taking that control back.
Yeah.
No matter what your circumstances are, take control over it, stand tall, and yeah.
Yeah, it's for me, especially as an entrepreneur, people ask me about my work-life balance. I say it's no such thing. It's no such thing as a work-life balance. Entrepreneurship is my lifestyle. This is what we do. When you talk about my children, they're like, oh man, so how do you do that with your kids? My kids have been around my business from day one. It's
Right.
so funny. I remember my son being born and I'm in my office space and it was a lot, it was one of those joints. I just got like a room and there's a bunch of other offices down there. And he used to be crawling down the hallway and to where he is now, about to be 10 years old. He's like, that's all he knows. They see
Yeah.
buildings and they say, hey, daddy, you can get that space to do this or blah, 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 blah. And my daughter, she has 2 books and she has her own nonprofit. Like this is a lifestyle. So if I'm
I
gone for
love that too.
2 weeks, they know that daddy working. They know what time it is. It's not no
Yeah.
such thing as a work-life balance when it comes to this. You have to make this into a lifestyle. And that's the
Hmm.
only way you can actually live that acronym, especially as an entrepreneur, stand tall and reclaim victory every day, because it doesn't matter what your business plan looks like. Your business plan always going to say, I'm going to start here at 0 and I'm going to go straight to the top and get $1 million. No, it's squiggly lines all the way around it.
All the way around.
It's bumps, it's bruises, it's
And start
traffic
over.
on the road.
You might have to start all the way
Yeah,
over.
it's traffic on the road. You done blew out a tire.
Right.
You done did all type of
Yep.
stuff. Somebody else
Exactly.
crashed that affected your crash. Like,
Yep.
made you crash and made you be stuck. None of this stuff is straight to the point.
Yeah.
And when people stop getting that BS, and that's both BSs, the bullshit and the belief system that they could just get from point A to point B and stop listening to people tell them that. The most thing the thing you need to have as a characteristic as an entrepreneur is flexibility.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to stand tall and reclaim victory every day, because standing tall means that something's pushing you down. So that means that's a fight. Reclaiming victory means that you lost at some point.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You're fighting every day to keep where you are, your spot solidified, doing this. And it's a lifestyle. It's no going home from work and you not taking that with you. You're taking it with you. Your kids are taking it with you. And I believe that all entrepreneurs should retire at some point, because that's the only way you're going to turn it off. So, but if you choose this life, you're going to have to understand how to live by that mantra and that acronym. Stand tall and reclaim victory every day, because every day you have to stand up, no matter how hard you got your ass kicked yesterday.
Right.
You have to fight again every single day. Your wins aren't even your wins because you're still protecting it. Once you can get a $10 million windfall, good luck keeping it. Good luck
My
keeping it.
friend always says that you can have the bag, but it's all about maintaining the
Yeah.
bag.
Good luck
Yep.
keeping it. And
Yep.
that's the part of that reclaiming the victory every day. Because
Hmm.
something is always coming forward. You think that train that just derailed twice, 2 trains derailed in Ohio in 2 weeks. That's a business. That's still a business. No matter if it is a $1 billion business, that's a business that was not thinking about the CEO sitting in front of Congress right now, talking about spills and the money that they're gonna have to pay for that and insurance and all that other stuff. Southwest just in what's that, December, going through what they went through with, you know, all airplanes down for a while, and people were stuck out here in Vegas, like literally stuck out here, couldn't do anything because of Southwest. They did not put that. That was not in the plan in January 1, 2022. For that to
Mm-hmm.
happen during the holidays, you know, between
Right.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, ain't no way in hell. You know, but they're still here. They're still a business. They're gonna be kicking out a bunch of money. They're gonna be paying a bunch of fines. They're gonna be doing a whole bunch of stuff and still trying to do business tomorrow. So, what makes you think, besides the people that's lying to you on social media, that you just gonna get up, decide you're gonna be a business owner, then you're gonna be a millionaire in no time?
Tomorrow, right? I don't know why people think that.
Because that's what they're telling them. And it's more of that than us telling the real. So this is where this platform comes
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is where this platform comes from, because
Yep.
that burnt me up listening to, and I love him now, but I hated Eric Thomas. I don't know him personally, like to hate him, but like I hated the message because it was always the rah, rah, rah. You want to sleep more than you want to get. I'm like, people need to sleep. Why are you saying people shouldn't sleep? You know what I'm saying? Like, then I found out that he is, it's not sleep, it's a discipline. Meaning I found
Mm-hmm.
out he goes to bed at 7 o'clock in the morning, at night, to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to record those videos.
Right. Yep.
Not and that, no, you know, we do that. If you go work at FedEx, that's what you got to do, right? So like,
Yep.
people can understand that, but that's not what sells tickets. What sells tickets is that I'm Superman. I don't have to sleep. You weak as hell. You can't. You got to sleep, and I can go ahead and sell all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm not the person that goes towards that. I need the real. What did you
Yep.
have to go through? You know, what thing did you come up with? And I'm always like, if I don't see it, I'm gonna create it. So I didn't see people talking about that. I didn't see people wanting to hear the real stories, and not tabloid, but just true. Like, look, I'm winning, but this is what I had to go through to win.
Mm-hmm.
For real, for real. Like, I had to go back to work. Everybody ain't just leave their job. You know how many liars I done ran into? Jokers that got real six-figure jobs and they arguing with real business owners that don't got a job. I don't want you on my, like, you might be making a bunch of money, but I don't want you on my show.
Yeah.
You're not fit for this because you don't know what standing tall and reclaiming victory looks like. You didn't go through anything.
Right.
So you're not fit for this right here.
Yep.
You know, you're not fit for this, because this is a niche. That niche is very clear. The people who went through something, who are willing to tell these individuals so that they know that it's not easy, but they can make it. Not a lottery
Right.
ticket. No, you actually do what I say do, and you can actually win. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing. So that's what I saw in you. That's why you got the invite.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy I can still, I am an inspiration because I've been getting a lot of messages, a lot of emails, and just people just pouring into the tour. Like, I'm just so inspired, and people telling me their stories. And, it's just for me to have founded this tour and to have women message me with their stories in a time where I'm my most vulnerable. They don't all know, like, everybody don't know, what I'm going through. But to see that and to be able to read it, like, there were times where I cried, like, I'm hurting right there with you, sis. Like, I feel your pain. I understand. That's what the tour is about, for us to be able to come together and just tell our stories, speak, share our testimonies, let our voices be heard, and still uplift each other and help each other financially grow.
That's the best time, though.
Yeah.
If I can tell you something, that's the best time.
Yep.
Our people really have this all or nothing mentality, meaning like, if I don't have all I think I should have, then I'm not going to do anything.
Right.
This is the time for you to perform and get out there and showcase what you got right
Mm-hmm.
now. They're never going to get a real of you. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to get a real of you. And that's okay, because in 2 years, 3 years, when you're up, it's not for you to give them that. That's you should have created somebody else through this tour to be giving them that.
Yep.
And you're living by the people who have been, affected by you positively. Like, I remember 3 years ago, I was talking and I was crying with them and everything like that. And now, even if you are crying, it's tears of joy, because you know what? It was just 3 of us
Mm-hmm.
doing that. Now it's 30 of us doing that. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
300 of us that's doing that right now. The same thing I was doing by myself or with one or two other people. And I'm crying because of that, not because, I was going through what I'm going through. I'm not still going through that no more. And that's
That's
what
what it's
that
about.
looks like. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I think that's what, again, hearing that, saying like, this is the time, not when you already got it up, when you trying to figure it out,
Mm-hmm.
because you are vulnerable, you are learning, because that means you can actually tell somebody the real testimony. I know
Yep.
what that looks like. You know what I mean? I know exactly. If somebody telling me, oh man, my car got repossessed. Yeah, I did too. Two of them. You know what I'm saying? I got the notice on my door too. Yeah, this date right here. And I was 32 years old when it happened. Like I wasn't
Hmm.
I wasn't no kid that just messing up. No, I was 30 something years old when I got the notice on my door. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So it was a real thing. So at the end of the day, you're in the right space. Now I gotta end this on a more funny note. What made you take pity on us brothers and say, we got to do something for them too?
Oh, don't say it like that. Because if women with purpose, um, we can't go through life as women with purpose if our men don't have purpose too. Not that men don't have purpose, but we have to inspire them to step out in their purpose, is what I'm saying.
I
And
appreciate
so
that.
it definitely is needed, because there are a lot of women empowerment groups. I mean, they're going on every day. There's probably one this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but there probably isn't any men empowerment groups. Probably not one until the end of the year. I don't know. I don't see them.
Yeah.
And so that is what the men's tour is about. And I also want to elaborate on that, because we want to kind of separate them too. The men's tour will be more focused on mental health, more focused on the brotherhood, the camaraderie. Not that men don't need help in business, that portion will still be there. But we all know men still dominate corporate America. Men are still making more money than women. So that's not a secret. And so for the men's tour, I want that as the founder to be more focused on the mental health of our men and our young boys, and just focus on that. And so that way we can all come together as one unity and just be men and women with purpose.
I think that's amazing. And I'm glad that, again, we talked about it earlier, but I'm glad that you had the presence of mind to help us brothers out and had that identification of, what we're missing in the community, because we all have a unique space. One thing I
Yeah,
do, it's not more so
exactly.
pushing back on, but just saying, especially for our community, because I love my community. So
Yeah,
I got love for everybody. At the same time, I love my community.
right.
We're not making more money than y'all. So let's listen. Like we're no,
Mhm.
listen to me what I'm saying. Listen to what
You
I'm
mean
saying.
black men?
Yes, black men. Like, listen to what I'm saying. And then more importantly than that, we're not giving ourselves jobs. You know what I mean? Because I gotta get our sisters, because a lot of sisters follow you. I gotta get our sisters to understand that Tyrone is not giving out $100,000 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Billy is. So because Tyrone got the $100,000 job and you didn't get it, it's not Tyrone's fault. You get with Tyrone and y'all kick Billy's ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have $100,000 jobs to give. We're all out here getting them, trying to get them, right? And so if they choose to give it to Tyrone over you, I don't want that to come back home to us like Tyrone wronged you. Because a lot of sisters like, oh, well, brothers is making more money. I'm like, it ain't even that many of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in jail. You know what I'm saying? We're the lowest, as far as population wise, as far as men. So out of Hispanic men, white men, any kind of men, we got the least amount. Then the amount that's in jail, the amount that's doing their own thing. When you talk about jobs, how many of us really, by the numbers, are out there to say we're making so much more money? Now, men, yes, men meaning all men.
That's what I mean.
But we don't come home to that. We come home to y'all making more money. Like Tyrone, like, nah, man, I just came out the damn sewer hole. I ain't making that much money. Like, I'm over here trying to clean up one of the construction jobs. Like, I ain't getting that bag like that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are the most educated individuals on this in this country, Black sisters.
Yes.
So y'all have a way to get to the top, and y'all are making the money. Y'all not making more than white men, but just know that that's not Tyrone's fault. I just call that's our brother. You know, our brother Tyrone. It's not his fault. And he would make that money if he had the opportunity to. But
So
if
that's what the men's tour is about.
yes,
So like that's why it's so important to have the men's tour, so we can
it is.
position more men to be more Black men. And both of the tours, I have to say this, both of the tours, it's not like it's open nationality.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about people as a whole. But if we're specifically, you are not talking about Black people, then yes, that is what, part of the tour is about, is fighting that recidivism, because we do have an entrepreneur that's joining the tour who advocates for that, who owns Meta Association, and that is advocates for mental health and fighting that recidivism. So it's like we're getting there when the tour gets started. The men's tour is definitely going in that direction, to where we're going to be uplifting a lot of our men and putting them also in position to have their own business and positions of power and leadership.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And this is with the job situation. Now, the brothers and sisters are kicking butt with the entrepreneurship, or more so, I call it self-employment. And
Yeah.
that's fine. And that's just free enterprise. You know what I mean? So whoever makes more money, it's not nobody's holding nobody back. But we heard this rhetoric for so many years with our sisters, and this goes back to before you and I were even born, when they were burning bras, and it wasn't us. It was that they was them young ladies, them Caucasian sisters was mad at their dudes. You know what I'm saying? And they just didn't say white women, they said women. And y'all said, yeah, I'm a woman, and y'all got with them. And then y'all brought down home to Tyrone and us, and and we never had anything to do with that. No, because we was never the beef. Like we was like the beef was, even the white woman's beef was with us, not with y'all. Because they said, think about it. They said y'all 100 years ago, y'all called them monkeys, and now y'all let them vote before we did.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Because y'all still couldn't vote either.
Right.
But it was their husbands who passed the law and said that Black men can vote. The monkeys, the animals, the slaves can vote before them, before their wives. And they had beef because of that. They were beefing with their men, not y'all. We were good. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get us back to being good together. But we can't be good if we don't really know who we are. If we're still living a line saying that we're taking something that they are, maybe. I'm not gonna fight that. We'll find that out together. We need to. But Tyrone ain't. You know what I mean? Because he don't have it to take. You know what I mean? He don't have it to take. There ain't too many Black dudes in this country that have a business enough to be able to hand out $100,000 jobs. And if he handing them out, it ain't many, right? That's just reality. And so when you lost that 6-figure job, did Tyrone take it? Or was it given to him? Or did he give it out? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? It was somebody else. So we are on the same team. And that's what I want.
Absolutely agree.
And I'm grateful to know that you're starting that off and saying, that's why I say, what made you have pity on us? Because we don't do it. We don't have those empowerment scenarios like we need to. You guys,
no, y'all don't. See, a woman still has to step in and do this for you.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Y'all need to be involved in everything. I'm a part of a fraternity. I'm a Sigma. Every time we had something on our own, it'd be looking crazy. As soon as we add the Zetas over there, that thing start coming around. But literally,
but I do recognize, though, that as a woman and being a founder of a men's tour, I need dedicated men to join the tour with me, like yourself.
Say that.
I do. I really do, because it's gonna take men to speak to men. My job is just to bring the men together, but the men have to speak to the men. I will not be speaking on the men's tour, but to maybe introduce, pop in. Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Oh, you gotta be in there. You gotta be in there. We don't move for each other. We move for y'all. So you gotta be in the mix. Yeah, you had your brothers who going to speak, but you definitely got to be in the mix, and you sprinkle in a couple of those other good sisters in there so that that thing can work the way it's supposed to work. Because
Well,
you know,
my goal is to do it like that this year, to have like a coexist on the tours, to introduce everything. But next year, my goal is to the men maybe have their event on one day and we have ours on another day, or at the same time but different venues, just to kind of really just give it that women's tour and the men's tour, so the men can follow and then the women can follow, but we're all kind of following together because we'll
yeah,
be in the same cities, the same states, you know.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I know we you got some things to do, but let everybody know how they can go ahead and sign up and the website and all the information that they need to know right now.
Yeah, well, we're always looking for guest speakers and vendors. So you can go to our website, womenwithpurposetour.com. All the information is on our website, guest speaker submission information, vendor information. It's all on our website, pricing, everything. So you can go to our website. Please subscribe to our website. Shout out to all of the people that have been following the tour. We're getting a lot more subscribers. So please subscribe to our website, because I've set up our email marketing to just blast out information to you guys on our next tour dates. Like I said, we got one coming up in June. We've got one coming up in September. The next year, you and I are collaborating. So I'm excited.
Vegas. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward
Vegas.
to it. And I would love to take you to South Carolina as well. I got a healthy
That's dope.
community of men that's there that will come out and do what needs to be done.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think it'd be a great look out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think this is dope, y'all. You know, you looking at this, you'll see all the stuff on the screen. Go ahead and subscribe and make sure that you support when she's coming through a town near you. And if you got something
Exactly.
going
I
on in
love
your
it. Yep.
town, reach out to her so y'all can collaborate and bring it there. If it's not there, you know, stop trying to create stuff on your own. Somebody's already doing it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So just, you know, make that partnership, make that alliance, bring her on there, let her bring her system over there to you, and y'all rock out and just keep it going. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you to come out this way. Now they heard you because you've been recorded saying that I got an open invite to Texas. So when I come and pull up, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear anything like, oh, well, you know, you should have called ahead and like, look, I'm here. I'm at DFW.
With the
I'm pulling up.
appetite. That's all I ask. Come with the appetite.
Oh, I ain't look. That's light work right there.
I
That's
love
light
to
work.
eat. Come with appetite. We're going to a restaurant.
Hey, that's light work. Y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it first. Look, I told you it was going to be an amazing episode, and it's usually because I have amazing people. Again, Starve Talk is about individuals who are willing to share their real story, real testimony about standing tall and reclaiming victory every day. If you have that type of testimony, I hope that you were able to connect with her today. Look, she's doing some amazing things in spite of what's going on in her lifetime right now. And again, you just can't think of how many people on social media that you listen to right now that done put the makeup on, got in front of the lights, and put on, and then you know that makeup is hiding the black eye, or that makeup is
Mhm.
hiding. You know, they position the situation because they don't have a place to sleep. They're going through something,
Yeah.
and not knowing that there's a community out here that's actually there for them, that's the one willing to love on them, willing to be there for them, and most importantly, willing to encourage them, because that consistent encouragement through a crisis is what we need. Because we probably had multiple crises, and we have the last one. But how do you stay encouraged through every crisis? That's what we want to do, and the way to do that is stand tall and reclaim victory every day. This has been your boy Jay Halim. Sabrena, you made the show look a little bit better today. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you. And we will connect again offline so we can talk about a bunch of stuff. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know
Plenty.
how we get down. So we
All
doing this.
right.
But until next time, look, go to www.iwon'tstarve.com. Go to the Starve Talk YouTube page, connect, subscribe, see when this show comes out. Tell us what you think about it, and stay connected with me. Peace.